here. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share with your community. Happy Sunday, guys. Tonight it's a time for a mystery story, and let the justice will be served for Laurie Bembenek, nicknamed Bambie. By the way, one of the nicknames for my Frida, my Chihuahua girl, is Bambie as well. Hello, how are you? Welcome the PayPal donation questions, of course. Don't forget to hit the like, share with your community. 1 second. And then we continue with that mystery question and as well the little intro about Laurie Bambeck and then the ghost box as well. Of course, thank you for being here. Welcome the PayPal questions during the live stream. I'm still on total sale. You want a reading with one tarot deck or with the 5 tarot decks? With the 5 tarot decks is 25 instead of 150, and with the one tarot deck answer, mini chat answer, just with one deck is 8.88. Here it is the link, and you have link there in description. It's pinned. Let me share, guys. Welcome to share on your communities, social networks, guys. Let me share now. Here it is, finished. So let's see what about Laura Bembenek. What was happening in her life? Beautiful soul from a nice family. I do see as well that her father has a startup with the bad luck working in the police, and she tried to work in the police, and they were both so honest and moral person that they didn't enjoy their working with corrupted part of the local police station, and they both shortly literally left this type of job. So that's interesting for me. That is really giving me a first sign that Laurie Bamben is coming from one nice family with a nice moral, firm moral values. And as her father rejected the corrupted colleagues as a policeman and literally left the being policeman, and he turned to be a carpenter, I do believe. It's interesting. It's nice story eventually. It's nice spiritual awakening story as well, right, guys? As well, our girl for tonight, team Laurie Bambenek, as well. She had the same team, but she was having a turbulence and bad luck following her all the way later on because the police never forgot that literally Laurie had put them on a research for that corruption, and literally they framed her. So yes, this is a story about justice for Laurie Bembenek that literally was having a really hard time. The Milwaukee corrupted policemen were never giving her any of the credit as well. She was she was literally sacrificed all the way there. There are a few different stories where her name is showing up as in connection of always on being on other side of the justice. So here it is. She was born Laurie, named Lawrence, and Bambenek was born August 15, 1958, and she died November 20, 2010. Known as Laurie Bembenek, was an American former police officer convicted in 1981 for murder of her husband's ex-wife. Her story uh, literally showed up in 1990s after Bembenek escaped from a correction institute in Wisconsin and was recaptured in Thunder Bay in Ontario, Canada. So, as well, that inspired books, movie, and the slogan "Run, Bambi, Run." Upon winning a new trial, Bembenek pleaded no contest to second-degree murder and was sentenced to time served and 10 years probation in December 92. Was this a way of police to say sorry, like you're just a victim of whatever happened in 1981? I do believe that was the way to say it. 4 years after, she sought to have the sentence overturned. Prior to her arrest, Bembenek was fired by the Milwaukee Police Department. He had gone on to sue the department, claiming that it engaged in sexual discrimination and other illegal activities. She worked briefly as a waitress at the Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, in a Playboy club, but she was a waitress. She was not a Playboy bunny. At the time of her arrest, she was working for Marquette University Public Safety Department in downtown Milwaukee. On November 20, 2010, Bembenek died at a hospice facility in Portland, Oregon, at the age of 52. So here it is, guys. What are the free cards on the start that I'm having for Bambi? Here it is. It was a nerve-wracking situation. She was a victim of her work. Yes, definitely, she was a victim of this police department. This, you guys, nerve-wracking situation. Nine of swords and business, definitely. As well as you see, they didn't like her because she was asking the truth. She was telling the truth and she was researching the truth. That's what I see. As well, there is a literal injustice with the missed opportunity for her to be seen as a such, to release all this dirty work of the people as well, that they literally arrange even the murder um, just to frame her. I mean, they become not just corrupted, they become as well the killers. And as well, there is a proof. I do believe in the future, there is a things to be literally, there will be a proof that as well her husband was involved. Look at it, guys. This is just a startup. We're just opening the startup. Um, so it's interesting as well. It's very spooky way uh, that she literally the way she died. Literally, there was I do believe it was 1 second. Let me find this area. It she died literally from the failure in liver. I mean, she was at the age of 50 and to have a failure in liver. There is literally, again, the red flag was she literally continuously poisoned with something and that poison show up in the liver. That's another question. Thank you for suggesting this question as well, guys. So let's see what was on the start in her life. See, Laurencia Ann Bembenek was the youngest of the three girls born to Joseph and Virginia Bembenek. in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on August 15, 1958. Joseph had previously worked at the police department but quit after witnessing what he described corruption within his department. He later worked as a carpenter. Laurie was raised Catholic, attended St. Augustine Elementary School, St. Mary Academy in Milwaukee. She later transferred to a Bayview High School where she graduated in 1976. Upon graduation, Bembenek attended Bryant and Stratton College in Virginia Beach, where she earned an associate degree in fashion merchandise management. Is that cool? It sounds a start for a young girl. Sounds very, very impressive, creative. After college, Bembenek worked in retail and had a brief stint as a model. In 1978, she appeared as a Miss March in a calendar distributed by the Joseph Schlitz Brewing Company. In March 1980, Bembenek began training at the Milwaukee Police Academy. While still a trainee, an anonymous tipster reported that she was seen smoking marijuana at a party. She denied the charge, which was investigated but never confirmed. Bembenek later said she believed the accusation was made by the wife of Milwaukee police officer who confronted her at a party about her clothing and accused Bembenek of leading on her husband. Bembenek graduated from Academy in the summer of 1980 and was assigned to MPD Southside Second District. In her autobiography, Woman on the Run, Bembenek claimed that the MPD was then composed of the brutal, lazy, apathic, and corrupt police officer. She further claimed that the female and minority officers were routinely subject to harassment and abuse during training. Bambenek stated that when female and minority trainers become members of the MPD, they were often severely punished or fired for minor infractions during their probationary period, while white male officers went unpunished for more serious offenses. While training at the academy, Bembenek met and became close with another female trainee, Jody Jazz. At a rock concert in May 1980, Judy Jazz was arrested for smoking marijuana. So again, guys, this was not Laurie, that was Judy, that was arrested for smoking marijuana, and as well, Bembenek's subsequent dismissal from MPD on August 25th stemmed from her involvement in filing a false report on Zeth's arrest. After being fired, Bembenek discovered, first of all, do you understand, guys? She was trying to help her friends. I do believe that this lady was her roommate as well. Anyway, that was her friend from the studies, right? They were together on academy, Judy Jazz, and she was covering Judy Jazz as well by working and wanted to literally being involved in her arrest and literally filing a false report about her arrest. Literally, because of trying to help her friend, she was literally fired and punished with this. Like there were no other corrupted thing to do, just to follow, and eventually, like literally, they were literally waiting for Laurie as a woman policeman just to make some failure, and here it is. This was the reason to fire her. After being fired, Bembenek discovered scandalous photos of several MPD officers, including her future husband, dancing nude on picnic tables in Gordon Park near one of their favorite hangouts. she took the pictures to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, arguing that while she was fired for minor infraction, the photos proved that other police officers committed more serious violations were not punished. As well, this organization encouraged Bembenek to file a discrimination report with NPD (Internal Affairs Division). The months following her firing, Bembenek briefly worked as a waitress at a Playboy club in Lake Geneva in Wisconsin. Around that time, Bembenek met Schultz, then 13 years veteran of MPD. Schultz had two sons and had obtained a divorce from his first wife, Christine, in November 80. So Bembenek and Schultz were married in January 1981. At the time of the marriage, she was working as a personal trainer at a health club and was living in an apartment with Schultz, plus with her friend. Remember the friend Judy? Just because of her, she was fired. Oh my God, this is so complicated. As well, guys, I do notice that she was such a nice person that she even kept, even if she was fired because of Judy Jazz, she literally continued living in this community with Judy Jazz, sharing the house, and plus with with her husband turned boyfriend turned to to husband now. And as well, Judy Jazz had there as well her boyfriend Thomas Gardner. Bambinek later got a job as a campus security officer at Marquette University in Milwaukee. In November 1981, Bembenek and Schultz were remarried after a judge ruled that the couple marriage was invalid, stating that the Schultz at that period um, was supposed to wait 6 months after divorce from a first wife to remarry, so they had married 2 times just to follow that rule. On May, you see how her life was complicated. I see that her life was just a karma, repeating everything she has to do 2 times, as while she didn't understand when there were signals, first moment that of betrayal and then people reporting her around. She'd never make that border. Like many times people they just pass when they see person that is that um, sunshine earth angel spirit. That's how I see Laurie Bembenek, and they literally uh, just keep returning and abusing her friendship and her goodness and her protection as well. And literally, that's what was happening as well with the first case. Remember, there was a lady that reported her. Remember, just because she was jealous on her dress code. That was some desperate housewife or one of her colleagues, policemen. That was the first time, just because of the woman who was jealous of her of her literally dress code being a stylish than others. Don't forget, guys, that she was a creative, that she studies well for fashion, right? That's what her associate degree as well. For sure, she was extremely feminine and extraordinary for being a regular policewoman, right? And as well, guys, a second step that we see with the Judy Jazz, because of her, she was fired and she continued living in a community with sharing the house with her and her boyfriend and uh, living with her husband. I mean, who is this husband who is sharing a house with another couple? Grow up, guy, Mr. Schultz. So yes, here it is. There will be evidence, guys. I'm seeing as well, guys. There are so many things that they were so obvious. I think that everything has with the card of clarity and high priestess. Everybody knows that She's not guilty. Whatever was happening in this her complicated life. So meanwhile, here it is. We go to. It didn't pass even just few months, guys. So they were first time. Remember, guys, that they were married in January 1981 and remarried November 1981. But here it is. In May 28, 1981, at approximately 2:15 a.m., ex-wife of Schultz, Christine, was murdered in her Milwaukee home. She had been shot point blank into her back through her heart by a single shot from a .38 caliber pistol. Kristen had been gagged and blindfolded and her hands were tied in front of her with rope. Her two sons, 7 and 11 years old at that time, found her face down on her bed, bleeding. The older boy, Sheen, had seen the killer, and described him as a masked male figure in a green army jacket and black shoes. He also said the, the man had a long, approximately 6 or 15 centimeters described, reddish colored ponytail. Bembenek had dyed blonde hair and as well remembered that she was guys. So this was a reddish hair as well. She Bambini had a blonde hair as well. There is a story that about the male figure described and she will be accused, but she is a woman, right? And then hello, hello, red flags. At the time of murder, Christine and Fred Schultz had been divorced 6 months just. Schultz initially stated he was on duty investigating a burglary with his partner Michael Dufay at the time of the murder, but years later admitted that they were actually drinking in a local bar. When ballistic tests allegedly revealed it was his off-duty revolver that had been uh, the murder weapon. Suspicious shifted to Laurie, his wife, as she had been alone in the apartment she shared with the Schultz and had access to both the gun and a key to Christine's house that he had secretly copied from his older son's house key. Bembenek was arrested for Christine Schultz's murder on June 24, 1981. So here it is a question. Did Laurie Bembenek kill ex-wife of her husband Fred? Did Laurie kill ex-wife of Fred? Guys, here it is. Whatever they were trying to pretend, literally to show up. Do you see somebody here pretending, guys? Check out. Somebody, so many people involved, 5 of wands. People literally trying to manifest, put a play on that she done it, but eventually she she's not the one. Yes, there were so many people involved in this story. I do believe it was a men club as well. Let me see more. Unfortunately, the bottom, whatever she said was rejected at the first time, but then remembering the next trial after they returned her from Canada on a runaway, later in a second trial was literally was her case was literally seen from a different angle. And yes, this was a victory. The different angle was a victory. So what happened then? The Bembenek trial generated tremendous publicity and newspaper began referring to her as a Bambie, a nickname she disliked. So they were talking about her as a loose woman addicted to expensive living who wanted Christine Schultz dad saw that her new husband would no longer have to pay alimony, pointing out that the Bembenek had financial problems. The prosecution claimed that she was the only person with the motive, means, and opportunity to carry out the crime. I mean, it would be logical that that is a Schultz one, that is literally her husband having a motive. The gun used to kill Christie was Bembenek's husband again gun. And what was his alibi was only his friend, a colleague, drinking beer. I mean, it could be another colleague of him, another friend, another policeman that went there and literally done that thing with that wig, with the red wig. Definitely was a male who was there in the house, as the older son said. So here it is. As well, the strongest evidence was two human hairs found at the crime scene, which matched ones taken from the hairbrush of the defendant. Schultz's eldest son, however, stated that Bembenek was not the person who had held up their house and shot his mother because he already could recognize her. Witnesses testified that Bembenek had spoken often of killing Christine. The prosecution produced a witness who said Bembenek offered to pay him to carry out the murder. I mean, is it true? So here it is. Was this a fake witness uh, who said at the court that Bembenek offered him to pay for a murder of Christine? Hmm. Guys, here it is. These are the people eventually who are paid. You see under the contract. Wow, and codependent. These are the people who were having a codependency from a blackmail from police. You see, this is an institute card, and this is a codependency from the institute, from the police, and they were literally blackmailed to say such thing against Bembenek. According to witnesses for the prosecution, Bembenek owned a green jogging suit similar to the one described by Schultz. It was pointed out that she owned a clothesline and a blue bandana similar to what was used to bind and gag the victims. A wig found in the plumbing system of Bambenek apartment matched fibers found at the murder scene. A boutique employee testified that Bambenek purchased such a wig shortly before the murder. So once let's check because in the house remember there is another woman, Jude, is it a friend, a roommate of Bembenek Bambie, roommate Judy? Was she involved of using that wig? Hmm. Do you see, guys? Here it is. Do you see? It's a group, free of cups. Is it Judy the one that killed somebody? No, it's about her husband. All the time showing the husband. As you see, guys, all the time showing the husband. It was just a friend of the husband. They were just playing with the things of literally he abused literally Laurie Bembenek for his own evil plan. So imagine this guy married for a reason just to use Laurie for. We don't see a colleague, we see literally a husband. He staged to marry Laurie just to use her as a mask to target his ex-wife and then to say, oh, it was my wife, it was not me. Will the justice will be served for Bambi? Will this guy, her husband, be in prison in future? He already walked away. I see it, guys. I see a king of swords, yes, but as well I see that somebody walked away because I do believe this is the story that Laurie Bembenek has walked away, left the planet, and I think that literally, because she's not alive. He's not doing this. 1 second, give me more. Well, during the life of her husband, I do believe is first of all, how old is this Wikipedia link? Is he still alive? We should research that thing. I mean, she's dead already 10 years, 12 years, pardon, from 2010, right? So if it's now 2022, when you're watching this video, literally, it could be as well that this guy could depart it. Will the justice will be served, and will this person, a killer who organized this and framed to Laurie, will this killer be in prison? Wow. I do believe that there is literally, guys, there is a clarity as well. There is a woman that is, there is as well the woman that literally can be a witness as well, guys. Don't forget that we have even in the start, in the first deck, we have as well one more lady there. And I do believe, will he be in a prison? Will he be put it in the prison? Hmm. He just postponed again because of the corrupt police. Is there anybody else? Is there anybody else to change that energy of corruption in this Milwaukee police? Will there be a change of the energy? Wow, just the media, guys, just the media community has to ask the truth and see her. Just the media are telling the truth, guys, and this story tonight is a part of uh, justice to be served for a Laurie Bembenek. I hope that this video that is dedicated to a Laurie Bembenek is bringing a little bit one more plus, one more ray of light for this beautiful soul with such a sad tragedy story all the way. So her husband has abused her and used her together with his team workers, the policemen, just to trap her instead of and get rid of his wife, ex-wife. And as well, everybody knows there is a proof for this. Will he be in a prison once more? I don't see, guys. There is always a story. It's over. It's too late. It's over. Like as well by literally Laurie not being anymore alive. Like this is literally everything goes under the carpet. Whatever is expression, guys. And as well, guys, on March 9, 1982, Bembenek was found guilty for the first-degree murder and sentenced to a life in prison. So that happened in a Fond du Lac in Wisconsin, as well on June 28, 1983. She filed for divorce from Schultz. She said that Schultz had written her a letter informing her that he was living with a 19-year-old woman in Florida and had decided to end their marriage. Their divorce was granted on June 19, 1984. While Schultz had initially stood by Bembenek and believed she was innocent, he later changed mind and publicly stated that he believed she was guilty as sin. Bembenek in turn came to believe that Schultz was guilty of hiring someone to murder Christine and allowed her to take the, the guiltiness. So here it is. What happened? Let's see. Is it ex-husband Schultz literally going to be in the jail ever? Wow, it's over, unfortunately. I do believe as well, guys, like this guy could be dead as well with this. I had a few times asking the same question with the card number 10 and then with the world that it's over. As well, guys, remember that he moved out as well. Do you see? He's like living at that period, even from 80s while she was in a jail. He was so fast to move on with a girl, like a pedophile with a 19 years old girl. Like, I mean, how old he was? He was for sure 20 years older than this girl, because he already had a family, right? He was one time married, then second time married, and he had this young girl, 19 years old. Oh my God. Ooh, the killer of the first wife. Then he put the second wife, Bambi Laurie, in prison. And then he goes being a pedophile with a 19 years old girl because, sorry, in US, you're not adult before the 21. So, yes, this is literally, this is really not correct. As well, guys, I see two times missed opportunity for him. Well, this guy walked away with the world card and missed opportunity two times, missed opportunity two times. This is a totally exquisite proof how is so perfect art. They're repeating the same cards. Again, guys, just be aware that who that that Bambi was never guilty. That was her husband who framed her with his colleagues. Exactly what she was telling. Remember her first statement from a jail literally is turned to be a total truth because she make a statement. Remember, Schultz was guilty of hiring someone to murder Christine and allowed her to take that guiltiness. Yes, this see, this is her husband Schultz and his friends, and a teamwork, codependency, and whoever was witness on the trial against her. Literally, this was a person who was blackmailed from the police. Like this person could be blackmailed from a police, while this person could be already being in a prison before, or some kind of a codependency, whatever is the way they can blackmail him, whatever way it is. So everything was fake, and the witness and the idea of being a killer, and then it was a male that the son literally said who approached and entered the house, and they're accusing Laurie is a woman. I mean, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. So, what happened meanwhile? It's becoming interesting, just her life story. So, let's pray this will help just the giving the clearance to her story, right, guys? And Andy is not guilty. So, is and then the next one. Let me put the time frame. So I can just for a second to open the ghost box for you guys. Hello, dear spirits. You're trying to connect your energy of Laurie Bembenek. You're trying to connect the energy of Laurie Bembenek. What about niece? Was it sure? Niece, two times you're repeating niece. Was it involved the niece, Harold and niece? So many people involved in this story, right? Was it the friends of Schultz? Did Schultz organize the murder of his wife? Harold? Who is Harold in this case? Is it a friend of Schultz? Will he talk in future, that Harold? Somebody is going to take an action, guys. He is afraid to talk now, but as well, in future, this person will talk. Harold will talk in the future. Is he asked from his niece? Literally, is the niece pressuring him to tell the truth about his colleague Schultz? Yes. As well, guys, do you see the playground energy here? I do think that as well they're waiting as well. We have a proof. There is a proof as well that was a Harold niece involved having a relationship with Schultz. And there is kind of a waiting. What kind of waiting? Proof that he's a pedophile or what? A proof of what they wait. They wait definitely. Yes, they wait to put him. Yes, they wait to prove to put him in the prison. Right. With the two of wands. Yes, definitely two wands.
Missing.
And who is missing?
Missing.
Niece. Harold. Is it Harold missing? Give me your name, please. Give me your name, guys. Sometimes it's coming to spirit with a new story. Please give me your name.
Asylum.
You're in asylum. And what is your name? Guys, this is another story. We're trying to connect, dear spirits. Can you connect us to a Laurie Bembenek? We're trying to talk with Laurie Bembenek and Christine Schultz. Christine Schultz was killed, organized by her husband. Can Christine help us and tell us who done that thing? Christine Schultz.
Lady.
Was it the lady with the red hair? What was her name? Dear spirits. Are you here? Wow, sorry guys. Deleted. We're trying to connect now to a Christine Schultz, lady that was killed, the ex-wife of Schultz.
Behind you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for being with us. Christine, can you help us? Can you tell us who is literally, dear Christine, can you tell us? You're behind me. Thank you for being here. Just stay and rest in peace. Can you just tell us who killed you, Christine? Christine, who killed you?
Am I dead?
Yes, you are. Unfortunately,
Tunnel.
you're in a tunnel. Follow the light, my dear. Follow the light. This is not a Christine. This is somebody who just passing now, guys, and entering the light, crossing over. Just follow the light and embrace the angels, and your ancestors are waiting for you there. Just follow the lights. Don't be scared, my dear. Rest in peace. Guys, I switch off because these are the energy of the new spirits who are just crossing over. I'm just going to continue finishing a story. What happened afterwards with Laurie Bembenek? What happened while she was in the prison? So here it is. On July 15, 1990, Bembenek escaped through a laundry room window and was picked up by I'm trying to pronounce the name, Giulietti. The couple were spotted 2 days after Bembenek escaped in a Giulietti truck in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. The abandoned truck was later found in a parking lot of a Target. Bembenek and Giulietti fled to Thunder Bay in Ontario, while sensational stories about their relationship swirled through American tabloids. Her escapes also reignited publicity surrounding her case, and she became something of a folk hero. A song was written about her. T-shirts were sold with the slogan "Run, Bambi, Run." When on the run, Bembenek used the name Jennifer Kazana and got a job working as a waitress. She also worked as a fitness instructor. On October 17, 1990, the couple were arrested after tourists saw a segment about Bembenek's escape on American Most Wanted. Oof, what a terrible tourist ride! Imagine what a nice story happened in Canada. She became a fitness instructor. She was doing a part-time being a waitress. She was having her life. So how long she was on the freedom from July 15 to October 17? Just few months, guys. So here it is. Giulietta was deported back to the US. A month later, I was eventually sentenced to 1 year prison for his role in her escape. And Bembenek sought refugee status in Canada, claiming that she was being persecuted by a conspiracy between the police department and the jurisdiction system in Wisconsin. The Canadian government showed some sympathy for her case and before returning her to Wisconsin, obtained a commitment that Milwaukee officials would conduct a review of her case. The review did not find evidence of crime by police or prosecutor, but details seven major police blunders which had occurred during the Christine Schultz murder investigation. She won the right to a new trial. She voluntarily returned to US on April 22, 1991, rather than risk a second conviction. However, Bembenek pleaded no contest to second-degree murder during a hearing held on December 9, 1992. She was sentenced to 20 years, which was commuted to time served. She was released from custody 3 hours after the hearing, having served a little over 10 years. Because remember that she was already 10 years in a prison. Bembenek wrote a book about her experience titled Woman on a Trial. After her release, she had various legal, personal problems. She was arrested again on marijuana possession. Oh my god, her karma with marijuana. I wish she never done this. So let's see again. Was she really using marijuana in all these charges? Hmm. Yes, there it is. Immaturity, page 1. And she filed for bankruptcy as well as developing hepatitis C and other health problems. She also admitted to being alcoholic. She legally changed her name to Laurie Bembenek in July 1994. In 1996, she moved to Washington State to be near her retired parents in Vancouver. There, she met a local resident, youth forest service employee, Marty Carson, and eventually she married 2005. She was diagnosed with the post-traumatic stress disorder complicated by a growing addiction to alcohol. As a form of a therapy, Carson encouraged her to literally do therapy painting. So she tried as well. She was really good in painting. Don't forget that she had the first degree in some kind of a creative. Remember, Department of Fashion. Is it the management of fashion or something? So here it is again. I return back to the art. Bembenek had made paintings since childhood, and her early work had been subject of exhibition at University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee in 92. Carson constructed a studio for her, and she eagerly returned to her art. After several years, she had amassed about 30 paintings, which she put on a display at the local art gallery. What happened? The gallery burned down while her paintings were there, guys. I mean, is this by chance? I don't think, guys. I just heard it's not. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Sorry for my nose. A second. Pardon me. Sorry, sorry. Was that again, not by chance, gallery burned? Wow. They just wanted her to be stuck in energy. Was that again police behind burning the gallery? Was it the police behind burning the gallery? Again, do you see? Is it her husband? Did he send somebody? This is a night and her husband idea. In 2002, remember her husband, the ex-husband that we are talking about, Schultz, not the new one. In 2002, Bembenek either fell or jumped from a second-story window, breaking her leg so badly that it had to be amputated below the knee. Oh my God! Like I said, so many bad lucks for this lady. Bembenek claimed that she had been confined in an apartment by a handler for the Dr. Phil television show, and she was literally being annoyed. She got anxiety and she just jumped over. Like she was preparing to have an interview with the Dr. Phil, and she just got a panic attack and she just jumped from a window, second story window. I mean, hello. Bembenek continued to insist she was innocent, but Wisconsin Supreme Court refused to overturn her no contest plea, saying such a plea cannot be withdrawn. In April 2008, Bembenek filed a petition with the United States Supreme Court seeking a reversal of the second murder conviction. Bembenek's attorney pointed to evidence not heard in the original trial, including ballistics tests matching the murder bullets to the gun owned by Fred Schultz. Male DNA found on the victim, evidence the victim had been sexually assaulted, and eyewitness testimony of the two young sons who said they had seen a heavy-set masked man. Bembenek's petition argued the court needed to clarify whether defendants who plead guilty or no contest had an opportunity to review evidence comparable to the rights of those who pled no guilty. Her appeal was denied in June 2008. Guys, literally till the last year of her life, all the time she was searching for justice. Sorry, guys. I know what I need. 1 second. 1 second. Yes, I need this one. Just my nose start to work here. Did you see that one? Oh my god, that was so funny. Part of my bangles. So here it is again. The last days of Laurie Bembenek. She was inspiration for the television movies and various books and articles portraying her as the victim of miscarriage of justice. In 2004, MSNBC produced and aired a biography of Laurie Bembenek on their Headliners and Legend television show. Bembenek did not take part in the show. She was interviewed as well by WTNJ-TV anchor Mike Jacobs for a two-part sweeps interview that aired on that station 10 p.m. newscast on October 28 and 29, 2010. In April 2022, Apple Podcast and Campside Media released the podcast series Run Bambi Run, hosted by Vanessa Grigoriadis. As well, guys, just to remind you, so here it is. Uh, and meanwhile, in that same year, 2010, when was literally that last interview done with her, on November 20th, 2010, she died at a facility in Portland, Oregon, from a liver and kidney failure. So she died in a clinic finally. This was a lot of bad luck in her life. Imagine such a brilliant, creative girl, calendar girl, then almost a Playboy bunny, then being bunny, working as well, part-time waitress in the Playboy club as well. She was literally trying to research corruption and as well um, misogyn attitude of police and that gender issue there. And I do see that whatever was happening, plus meeting this troll, her ex-husband, right, Schultz, it was like a karmic situation with that marriage. And do you see that marriage is all around that story? It's happening even, I do believe, behind the gallery as well, burning the gallery work was her ex-husband Schultz behind burning the gallery as well. He was literally annoyed with what will be on the paintings. He was scared what will be on the paintings, and here it is. He was literally taking an action by strategically sending another person, guys. Yes, he's all the time here. He was a flavor as well. Here it is. He was literally a flavor as well. With the story of his first wife as well, while she was still alive as well. There was passing the story while she was alive that he was as well being violent with her, and that's why they divorced. So him being a nerve-wracking, what she will Bambi will publish an exhibition with the 30 paintings. Will there be something about him involved killing his wife like a truth, right? Of course, that's what he was literally nervous about. And again, will this Fred Schultz be in jail? Guys, there is still a color. He's, first of all, guys, he's free. This guy is free. He's run away, remember, with the Eight of Cups, and here free. And it's a teamwork. But as well, I do believe with the teamwork and on the bottom sun, I do believe that somebody from a teamwork or somebody who knows the story of one of these team workers of him will start to talk, pulling the strength and sun saying that somebody's going to tell the truth. But there are so many people involved. That's why somebody has nerve-wracking situation. Like it's somebody wants to be apologetic, telling the truth. I knew this before, but I didn't say it because I was working for police. These were my colleagues. I was afraid of their revenge, what they done to Bambi, they could done to me as well. Right. So guys, I hope we pray that the justice will be served for Laurie Bembenek, and literally she is a victim of miscarriage of justice as we see as well. Miscarriage of justice as well. She was as well a victim of a bad luck as well at the end of the life, you see, with a lot of small weird situations, and as well as a student. Remember the situation with jealous wife of her colleague, literally reporting her about her dress code, eventually telling about the marijuana thing. And then there was a Judy. She was covering up her best friend Judy, but she was punished and fired from police because of helping her Judy as well. Uh, and so many things involved. And I don't have a comment for this husband, Schultz, Fred Schultz. Fred Schultz will drop dead in front of the creator. Will Fred Schultz be in prison in this life? Ten of Pentacles. Wow, there is a Ten of Pentacles. Wow. But guys, you see here, it's like getting over. Wow, but look at, she's waiting for him. As well, his wife, I do believe the mother of children, the first one with who he had children, right? Christine Schultz, that was killed, right? I do believe that she's waiting. I do believe that Christine Schultz is waiting for him. And Christine was here with the gold box, guys. So let's pray that the Christine Schultz, the victim of the murder organized by Fred Schultz, will find the peace as well. That as well, Laurie Bembenek, Bambie, Justice for Laurie, will that Laurie will be never forgotten. First of all, and I really, I'm so flattered with finding these other YouTubers doing so many stories about her. And as well, do you see the last date in April 2022 Apple Podcast as well released the podcast series Run Bambi Run, hosted by Vanessa Grigoriadis, the Greek colleague of ours. And I'm so happy that one more Greek person can talk about this there in the US as well, and that everybody through the Apple Podcast can can hear it as well, guys. Don't forget, I'm going to add this reading to Adjusted with the search. Check out the rest of the readings as well. So thank you in advance for joining. If you are new, subscribe and put alarm bell. Seeing me 2 times per day, usually the East Coast New York time lunch break, and after the first work shift, after 6 or 7 p.m. As well, the French time it would be around 6 p.m. and after midnight or after 1 a.m. like tonight. Kisses to all and stay safe and pray not to be a war. Kisses. Take care.